I'm gonna give you the blueprint of how to actually trade with a 9 to 5 and to know when to actually quit that said 9 to 5. I'm gonna show you exactly what I did to leave my 9 to 5 as an elementary school teacher, and we're gonna get right into it. All right, so first and foremost, my friends, you're at work, you're at your 9 to 5, and you're trying to figure out how are you gonna trade. I trade in the New York session, which is from 9:30 to 4 p.m. Eastern. So essentially what you need to do is look at your schedule. There are time pockets. There's parts of the days that you can use. So, hey, if you go in a little bit later in the 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock hours, you have from 9:30 to whenever you're supposed to be at work to trade. Or if you have a lunch break, you should have a break of some sort, more than one. So use your break time. Or when you are off of work, the market is still open, you can trade during that time too. Listen, I was an elementary school teacher. So what I would do, y'all, don't tell nobody, this is between us. What I would do is I would have my coworkers like, hey, you take my kids to recess this time, I take yours another time, right? Or I'll buy you lunch. That would give me an extra 30 minutes. My lunch break, that's 30 minutes. My specials break, that's another 30 minutes, okay? So realistically, guys, I had an hour and 30 minutes every day to actually trade during the day while I am not with my kids. My husband too, he worked outside. So he had to figure it out. He figured it out during his day. Like I know shout out to all my laborers that actually work. That's a hard thing that y'all gotta do. I totally get where y'all are at. Listen, guys, the bottom line is no opportunity wasted right now. You have to use your time that you have now. And if you want it bad enough, you don't give yourself no excuses and you make it happen. So how do we actually quit said 9 to 5? So let's get down to it. Make sure you have a pen and paper because note takers are money makers. And if you have to pause and rewatch this, you should, because it's going to be really good. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe because I'm do videos like this all the time. Or, go ahead and give me a thumbs up so this video can get to 1,000 likes. All right, let's get to it. So first things first, guys, you have to use your job as a business partner. I know that manager's annoying. I know you can't stand your coworker, whatever the case is. But guess what? You can smile knowing that you're planning your exit. And your 9 to 5 is going to fund that exit. Where are you going to get your money from to trade? Where are you gonna get the money from to put in your account? You have to start squirreling away some of that money, right? You gotta fund your account. And while you're funding your account, you're learning, you're acquiring the knowledge so that when you're ready to go, you actually have an account to use to trade, which leads me directly into the second step. You have to get to the education. Education. Education will change your situation. You heard that, right? It will. You actually need to learn how to trade. A simple strategy that you can follow day in and day out that you can do basically with your eyes closed. That is when you should be able to progress to step 3. Now, step 3, this is important, my friends. All of these are, but people don't talk enough about this one. Trading is 10% skill and 90% psychology. These are my numbers, okay? So whoever want to come for me, whatever, that's your business. This is my numbers. How do you handle FOMO? How do you handle if a trade doesn't go your way? How do you regulate revenge trading? How do you understand over leveraging and over trading, not knowing when to quit? Like those are things that will literally stop you in your tracks from progressing in your trading journey. If you didn't know, now you know. So my friends, how do you know when you're ready to get to quit? How you know when you're ready to leave is when you get those emotions in check. When if a trade doesn't go your way, you're not hunting for another trade. Or if you miss a trade, you don't have extreme FOMO and jump it anywhere. Or if a trade doesn't go your way, you go and you say, hey, market, give me my money back. And the market says, haha, joke's on you. So my friends, getting your emotions in check and understanding to get yourself under control is another indication that you're ready to start writing that letter. Let's go on to number 4. Okay, number 4 is so pivotal to your success is having patience. Patience to wait for your ideal setup to come to you. So what we call that, or what I call that, is an A+ setup. An A+ setup is the epitome of what you're looking for. You know where to get in, you know where to get out if the trade doesn't go against you, and it's just a favorable setup. So the premise is that the more favorable setups you get, you're building your account. Nice setup, win, win, win. And what that does is it builds your confidence, and obviously it's going to build your capital. But here's the other side. If you do not have patience, if you're jumping into trades just because the market is open, or you see 2 sets of green candles, you're like, woohoo, call situation, right? Guys, This is where you take low grade setup. You ain't no low grade kind of person. You high grade. You take the best possible setup because you know what you're doing, because you got the right education. Okay? So you limit these B, C, D setups and you wait for your A setup, right? You wait for that thing or that setup that is yours. And what do? You execute. And guess what? The trading week is 5 days. And if you only have 2 or 3 days where your setup appears, guess what? Those are the only days you trade. And when you are able to understand that patience and waiting for your ideal setup is the way to success, then you'll be ready to move on to step 5. All right, y'all, thanks for sticking around. Let's go to step 5, which is the final step to know when to actually quit your job, is when you've actually saved up at least 6 months of your bills or your expenses that you're responsible for, okay? So, y'all, picture this, right? Say, hey, I'm trading. I can't stand you. I'm tired of you. I'm out. Whoever this person is, I'm not going to name no people because I don't want to call someone's on here name, but you know that person. And you start trading and you're like, oh, hold on. The rent is due in 2 weeks. And my phone bill and the internet that I'm using to trade is due in 5 days. So, oh, no. I got to get a trade. Forget about A+ setup. Forget about patience. I need to trade now. I need to make money now. And what do? You forget about your strategy. You forget about your rules. You forget about your emotional intelligence. And guess what? You take them D setups, right? Them D- setups. And you start dwindling away at that account you worked so hard to save up. And then you stop trading. You say it's not for you. You said it doesn't work. You lose all your confidence, much less your money. And you are on what we call a tilt. Your downward tilt. You start calling yourself You say you don't know what you're doing. But guess what? All you did was put added pressure on yourself because you got rid of your business partner too early. You got rid of them too early. So my friends, don't add that pressure onto yourself. Don't add that added pressure because that's a responsibility that you have to pay attention to, okay? So trading is already a journey. That's something that's worthwhile, my friends. So give yourself the grace to learn, the space to learn, and the opportunity to learn. When you do those things, my friend, you'll be setting yourself up for success and getting you closer to writing that letter. So my friends, if you enjoyed this, I hope you did. Thanks for sticking around. If you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button or give me a thumbs up, I would truly appreciate that. And if you want to learn actually how to trade and, be in a community of like-minded individuals and actually see my screen live, all you have to do is click the link in the description box or simply type the word trade down below and, I got you. But do me a favor. If you want to learn anything else around options or you have any specific videos you want me to make, write that in the comments down below. I love reading my comments and talking to y'all. So I appreciate y'all. I hope you have a blessed rest of the week and I'll see you on the next one.